Hello YouTube and welcome back to another EDH Deck Tech, and I am Luke, and today we are going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to show you a little bit about Zurgo helmsmasher. This is a Mardu commander who is super aggro. A lot of people run Kalia or Karametra, or not Karametra, the Eoroas' champion, the giant chick. I think this guy's much better than both of them. He is a super aggressive commander, and he allows you to just smash face and get in there like crazy. There are some modifications that you can make to make him even more aggressive. I'll discuss those as we go on, but right now let's look at Zurgo himself. 7/2 haste. He attacks each combat if able. He's indestructible as long as it's your turn, and whenever he deals whenever a creature is dealt damage by Zurgo and dies, he gets a +1/+1 counter. So he's kind of like a Sengir vampire that way. He costs 2 and a Mardu. So that's the colors here, is red, white, and black. All right, let's go into the mana base. I have 8 plains and 6 mountains and 6 swamps. Once again, I trust you guys to know how to deal with the mana base. Just make it work. Command tower, obviously you need to have, because it's a 3-color commander. Evolving Wilds, tutor up a land. Rogue's Passage helps you make Zurgo unblockable. That is very helpful. Temple of Malice, Scryland. Temple of Triumph, Scryland. Temple of Silence, Scryland. Scoured Barrens, another dual land. Let's get Zurgo up here so you can see him in all his glory. Buddy lands, Shambling Vent turns into a creature with lifelink if you want to do that. A lot of times the idea isn't to have a very long game. You want to get in there and beat the crap out of them and serve them 21 commander damage as soon as possible. That is the strategy here. We're not going with a ton of tokens. The tokens that are in here are just to try and protect yourself while you try and get off with Zurgo. There's a good amount of equipment in this deck, so the idea is not to prolong the game, it's to end it really quickly. Bloodfell Caves, it's another dual land. Dragon Skull Summit, another dual land. Battlefield Forge, it's a pain land. Clifftop Retreat, another buddy land. Widscarred Crag, Cinder Barrens, Boros Guild Gates. Just get multicolored lands. If you can do better and you want to put in Marsh Flats and Sacred Foundries and the other ones, go for it. Fetches and Shocks. This is just what I use when I'm playing Zurgo. But again, my play group isn't super spiky that way. And they hate it when I play this, so they don't let me play with it very often because it's really mean. Mana Rocks, Soul Ring. Dark Writ helps you get Zurgo out quickly. Pearl Medallion makes all your white spells cost 1 less. Rakdos Signet. Boros Signets, Chromatic Lantern, Boros Cluestone, Boros Key Rune. Obviously, just make the mana base work. I'm not here to talk to you about the mana base. You can figure that out yourselves. Mardu Banner is good as well. Creatures. Mom helps give Zurgo protection, so he is more safe on your opponent's turns, and you can give him protection to get through when he's attacking. Dragon Master Outcast, it's another axis that you can attack on. 1/1, if you have 6 or more lands on your upkeep, you get to throw a red 5/5 flying dragon onto the battlefield, and he's a 1-drop, so that's very solid. Necrotic Sliver, this could be any other removal spell. This is just what I happen to use, because I do have a couple of things that get things back from the graveyard, but basically all slivers have, and this is the only one that's in this deck. So he has 3 and sacrifice it, and you can destroy target permanent. He costs 1 in an Orzhov, 1 in a black and a white, and he's a 2/2. So he's just a removal spell on a stick. Royal Assassin, 1 and 2 black for a 1/1. You can tap him and destroy target tapped creature. So he's amazing. In combat, somebody goes to tap to attack, and he can destroy it before the damage is even dealt. So that's very good. Bastion Protector, 1 in a white for a 3/3, and commander creatures you control get +2/+2 and have indestructible. So again, it protects Zurgo. Windborn Muse, it's a ghost Ghostly Prison on a stick. Flying 2/3 for 3 and a white, and creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 colorless for each creature. Olivia Voldaren, 2 and a Rakdos for a 3/3 flyer. You can pay 1 and a red, and she will shoot something with 1 damage, and then that creature becomes a vampire in addition to their other creature types, and Olivia gets a +1/+1 counter. Then you can pay 3 and 2 black, ironically the exact same amount as Sengir Vampire, and then you gain control of another vampire creature. So she can sort of start stealing your stuff. Hopefully the game doesn't go long enough to make that a thing, but she's a really great creature, and she can help with controlling the board. So she also makes a killer commander on her own. Krenko is another way to generate creatures, lots of tokens here, and he can he can provide multiple blockers while Zurgo is attacking, and he can also run away with the game. I have won games not because of Zurgo, but because of Krenko. 2 and 2 red, 3/3. It can tap him and put enough goblin creature tokens onto the field equal to the number of goblins you already control. So he gets out of control fast. There are a lot of board wipes in this, and that helps Zurgo because he's usually indestructible. This is False Prophet, 2 and 2 white for a 2/2. He's a cleric, and when he is put in a graveyard from play, remove all creatures from the game. So peace out. If you don't have Zurgo out and you want to restart the creature game, then this guy is how you do it. Aralia, the War Leader, another really good commander, actually. She's 2 and 2 Boros for a 3/4 flying vigilance haste, and whenever she attacks for the first time each turn, untap all your creatures, and then you get another combat phase. So she helps Zurgo get in twice. This guy that I just dropped is probably the best. I'm really lucky. I usually draw him, and I can tutor for him, but he usually helps me win the game right away. It's a Stonehewer Giant, 3 and 2 white for a 4/4 vigilance, and then you can tap him and pay 1 and a white to tutor for an equipment card, put it on the field, attach it to a creature, and then shuffle your library. So he gets you equipment straight up if he's around with Zurgo, and it's fantastic. So he is a key. You need to have him in this deck. He's too good not to. Equipment, Swifty Boots. Inquisitor's Flail. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, Swifty Boots. Hexproof and haste, and it's a 1 to equip, and it costs 2. You should know what Swifty Boots are. And I'm sure you all do. Inquisitor's Flail. Let's get a little closer, shall we? Inquisitor's Flail is an equipment for 2 mana. If equipped creature would deal combat damage, it deals double that damage. If another creature would deal combat damage to equipped creature, it deals double that damage instead, and it's 2 to equip. So it gives Zurgo double strike, basically, and because he's never going to block because he's always attacking, the other thing doesn't matter because he's also indestructible on your turn. So there's no reason not to play this. This isn't usually the first thing that I tutor up, but it's up there. Sometimes I'll tutor this one up. This one is hilarious. World Slayer. 5 mana equipment, costs 5 to equip. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy all permanents other than World Slayer. But because, again, Zurgo is indestructible, he can't be destroyed. So all you have is Zurgo and World Slayer in the game, and then you can just kill everybody at your leisure. So it's pretty awesome. Whisper Cell Cloak is usually one of the first things that I get with Stonehewer Giant. 3 mana cost equipment. It makes your equipped creature unblockable and gives it Shroud, and it's 2 to equip. Obviously, this is going on Zurgo. Everything is focused around Zurgo and getting the Voltron active and getting in there for 21 commander damage. Assault Suit is another one I'll do if I want to play with people and have fun a little bit. This is a very political thing. Assault Suit is a 4 mana cost equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. It gets haste and can't attack you or a planeswalker you control, and it can't be sacrificed. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you can have that player gain control of equipped creature until the end of turn, and if you do, untap it. It's 3 to equip. So basically, you give Zurgo to everybody else, and as long as they don't have a way to get rid of the assault suit, they're going to pass it on to somebody, and then they have to attack each other with it. It's pretty hilarious. Just don't play it around blue players. They'll steal Zurgo, and that's annoying. Coercive Portal is an artifact for 4, Will of the Council. At the beginning of your upkeep, starting with you, each player votes Carnage or Homage. If Carnage gets more votes, sacrifice Coercive Portal and destroy all non-land permanents. If Homage gets more votes, or the vote is tied, I get to draw a card. So it usually is a way for me to draw a card. Fire Shriekers are great equipment that I will tutor up often with Stonehewer Giant. And it's 3 to cast and 2 to equip. Equipped creature gets double strike. So that'll also help get Zurgo in. 10 Zagoto's Maul is another artifact piece of equipment. 3 to cast, 1 to equip, and equipped creature gets +1/+1 as long as it's legendary, which Zurgo is always. And it gets an additional +2/+2 as long as it's red, and it gets trample as well. So it gives +3/+3 and trample. Lightning Greave, it's another Swifty Boots, except better. Crawl Space helps protect you while you're getting in with with Zurgo rather. Now spells. Swords to Plowshares, exile a creature, they gain life equal to the power. Assault Strobe gives a creature double strike. Brave the Elements gives a white creature, which Zurgo is, protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. So you can keep Zurgo alive, or you can give him protection from something and get in with that. Mortify, destroy a creature or an enchantment. This could be any exile or destruction spell. It's up to you. Demonic Tutor. Go tutor, grab something, and throw it onto into your hand. Tempest of Light, destroy all enchantments. I've got a lot of people in my play group that play enchantments, so a lot of Daxos Returned, I believe it is. Pillow Fort strategies, so Tempest of Light is a good one for that. Here we have Order and Chaos. Order is 3 and a white to remove a target attacking creature from the game, and Chaos is usually what we get, what we cast, which is creatures can't block this turn. So it helps Zurgo get in. Unmake, remove a creature from the game for hybrid 3 white or black. Painful Truths, 2 and a black, converge, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of colors you use to pay for Painful Truths. Usually you're going to pay 3 and you're going to draw 3 and lose 3 life. Read the Bones. Scry 2, then draw 2 and lose 2 life for 2 and a black. Sudden Spoiling is great. 1 and 2 black, split second. Until end of turn, all creatures target player controls lose all abilities, and they have a base power and toughness of 0/2. Pretty amazing. And split second obviously means nothing else can go on the stack. So it can't be countered, it can't be responded to. It's just what it is. Helps a lot. Psychotic Fury, instant for 1 and a red, target multiplayer creature. It's this one, always. Gets double strike until end of turn, and you get to draw a card. And that's got some really sick, nasty art, too. Guy looks pissed off. Wrath of God. Destroy all creatures. I believe it's been errated to they can't be regenerated. End hostilities. Destroy all creatures and all permanents attached to creatures for 3 and 2 white. Planar Outburst. 3 and 2 white. Destroy all non-land creatures, and you can awaken it for 5 and 3 white. But you're almost never going to do that. The idea, once again, is pretty simple. Just get things out of the way so you can smash with your indestructible creature. Pariah is a really great protection spell. It's an aura for 2 and a white. All damage that would be dealt to you is instead dealt to enchanted creature instead. So you pick, I don't know, somebody else's commander, and then they have to deal with it. Otherwise, everything that would attack you is dealt to that creature insteed. Phyrexian Arena. 1 and 2 black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and lose a life. This is the poor man's Dark Confidant. Spirit Mantle. 1 and a white aura. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has protection from creatures. Again, simple. Dauthi Embrace. This is kind of cheap, but it's funny. 2 and a black enchantment. For 2 black, target creature gains shadow until end of turn. Karmic Justice. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, you can destroy target permanent that opponent controls. So it disincentivizes people from messing with your enchantments and equipment. Oblivion Ring. Exile something until Oblivion Ring is left the battlefield. Scourge of the Nobilis. 2 and a hybrid Boros. Enchanted creature, as long as it's red, it gets +1/+1. And it also has hybrid 1 Boros Fire Breathing. And as long as enchanted creature is white, it gets +1/+1 and lifelink. So that's another really great aura to have with Zurgo. Stasis Snare. It's an Oblivion Ring for creatures with flash for 1 and 2 whites. Again, good removal. Angelic Renewal I had from, I don't know, when I was in high school or 8th grade. Just one of those things I've got. If creatures are put into your graveyard from play, you can actually sacrifice Angelic Renewal and put one of those creatures into play. So if I have Angelic Renewal out and Zurgo dies, you don't have to put him into the zone, into the commander zone. You can just sacrifice this and bring him right back. So it's another way of getting back Zurgo. Quarantine Field, X, double white, and when it enters the battlefield, put X isolation counters on it, and you get to exile that many non-land permanents. Good removal. Planar Collapse is funny. It's an enchantment for 1 and a white. During your upkeep, if there are 4 or more creatures in play, sacrifice Planar Collapse. I'm sorry, not Chaos. Planar Collapse and destroy all creatures that cannot be regenerated. So again, Zurgo is going to be the only one other than gods that is going to still be on the battlefield, and you get to swing at your leisure. A few more enchantments. Ghostly Prison keeps people from attacking you. Same as Windborn Muse. Animate Dead. Again, sometimes I'll hold this in my hand. Somebody will kill Zurgo not on my turn, and instead of putting him in the command zone, I'll just Animate Dead him and start swinging for 6. Because Animate Dead targets a creature in any graveyard, and Animate Dead becomes an aura attached to that creature, and if Animate Dead leaves the battlefield, then the creature dies, and that creature gets -1/-0. So that's sort of how Animate Dead works. Basically a way to get Zurgo or another creature back onto the field. Berserker's Onslaught. I don't think I've ever cast this because the game is usually decided by that time, but 3 and 2 red, attacking creatures you control have double strike. Again, it's a race to get to 21 commander damage. Grasp of Fate. When it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls until Grasp of Fate leaves the battlefield. It's another O-ring. And then last but not least, Assemble the Legion. It's a token generator. 3 and a Boros, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a muster counter on Assemble the Legion, and then you get a 1/1 white and red soldier creature token for each muster counter on it. So it's kind of like Krenko a little bit, where it just keeps pumping out tokens that can run away with the game or give you protection. Defense, rather. So that is Zurgo. This guy is super fun. I'm very proud because he never came from like a pre-con deck that I used to build him. This is just me figuring out what I was going to do with this commander because I thought he was really badass. So if you have any questions about how to use this guy or suggestions on other deck techs, suggestions for this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Tainted Strike is also a card that you could put in here that gives a creature Infect. My play group hates Infect. They think it's really cheap, and so we have sort of an unspoken house rule to not allow anybody to have Infect. But if you're playing a different meta or a competition, then you should by all means do that. So that is definitely an addition I would make. So yeah, that's Zurgo. He's a big old beater, pretty cool, and he's better in smaller sorts of games. But unless you have something that lets you strike multiple people at the same time. So if you have any questions, please feel free and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I can make these videos better. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, and I will catch you next time. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.